Hey there! In keeping with my theme, Boy Scout Knives of the Greatest Generation, today I have an old Ulster to show you. This is an Ulster from the time when Dwight Devine controlled the company. That would be 1923 to 1941, so we have another pre-World War II Boy Scout knife here. Ulster was out of Ellenville, New York, and this is the model 1502, I believe. Just a little bit of background on Ulster. They were one of the oldest knife companies in the country. Ulster Knife was incorporated in 1875 when Dwight Devine and I believe 4 other individuals took over the failed Cooperative Knife Company. And then 3 years later in 1878, Dwight Devine assumed full operation and continued it as an individual enterprise until 1926. When he incorporated it as Dwight Devine and Sons, taking his 2 sons into partnership. And they carried on with the company after Dwight Devine's death in 1932, but then when one of the sons died in 1940, the following year, 1941, control of Ulster Knife was transferred from the Devine family to a group of capitalists led by Albert Bear and his brother Henry of Uncle Henry Knives. So it gets kind of complicated, and the story goes on from there. Ulster merged in 1947 with Imperial to become the Imperial Associated Knife Companies. And then the following year, in 1948, they bought Schrade. So the U.S. has a rich history of knife making, but there's a lot of consolidation and merging going on, and in particular with these Boy Scout knives, it can get pretty confusing. Okay, so let's just take a look at this knife. First of all, you can see that it has what they call an Interstate style shield here. It is the first class emblem with the Scout motto, "Be prepared." It's pinned on. You can see one of the pins right here. Pinned to these brown bovine bone scales. Nicely jigged, and on this example they look good and they're well matched. You got a 3-pin design here, nickel silver bolsters that are scored or fluted, a permanently attached bail which is nicely done, and it's a little shorter than most Boy Scout knife bails I've seen. Brass liners and spacer there between the springs. You can see the spacer is not, on this particular example, is not decoratively cross-hatched. And then this knife has what they call a 3-piece can opener. And the 3 pieces are, you can see the base there, then the main body of the sickle-style can opener, and then a knob. And these knobs are often missing, so it's nice to have one with the knob. Fits into a cutout there, and that's how you get it up. Here's the screwdriver cap lifter. It's rather long, about 2 inches I think. And here's the tang stamp. The blade tang stamp is repeated here on the screwdriver, and it's the just it says Ulster, 1 line, knife, 2nd line, company, 3rd line. Now, this tang stamp changed a little bit, or was different during the Dwight Devine years. You can get it just like this, or there's another one that's Ulster the top line, Dwight Devine the 2nd line, and Sons the 3rd line. Those are a little rare, I think a little more sought after. And then when the Ulster Knife Company was transferred from the Devine family to Albert Bear and his brother in 1941, the tang stamp, I believe, then became Ulster 1st line, Knife Co. 2nd line, and New York NY 3rd line. So here's the blade on this one. It's a spear blade. It's a bit of a swedge here, kind of a short nail nick. On this specimen here, the tang stamp is not real clear. You can see the knife and the Co pretty well, but it's hard to see the Ulster. And then on the back, here's our model number 1502. And that just leaves the this one has a rather small cutout but a very long awl. And this one is great. It's full. Oftentimes these are broken off and reprofiled. But this one is, and they did come in varying lengths, but it's nice to see one that long and full. So I think that's all I have to say about the Ulsters. They're not that uncommon. If you get on eBay, I think you can always find 2 or 3 of these for sale. Again, this is the just an Ulster, model 1502. If you want one with the Dwight Devine and Sons tang stamp, it's going to be a little more difficult to get and a little more expensive. But this, if you wanted to collect a nice pre-World War II Boy Scout knife with real bone handles and the old style can opener, this would be a really good starting point. Thanks for watching, and have fun collecting.